there's this saying they always say that you cannot be a cockroach at home and a giant outside. And for a long time, this saying has kind of stick with us, and somehow some people are beginning to believe it, and it's becoming very popular, among us. But I think with the recent developments that I've seen, especially with how the Nigerian government, the Nigerian military were able to quickly, in less than 4 hours, restore democratic order in Benin Republic, in the Benin Republic, while at the same time struggling to contain insecurity in Nigeria. That thing kind of made me to begin to think that, look, it is possible to be a cockroach in your own house at home and be a giant outside. Now, this is not me trying to talk down the military. Just stay with me and I will explain what I mean. You see, there are some factors in your own father's house or at home that may be working, that may be frustrating you from becoming the giant that you are supposed to be. The fact that you are a cockroach in your father's house or a cockroach at home does not necessarily mean that you were meant to be a cockroach. It may just be that there are some factors that may be working against you actualizing your full potentials and becoming the person you are supposed to be. Now, if you look at the military very well, this what happened in the Republic shows us that it is not that the military cannot stop insecurity or cannot take control of the security of our borders or of our country and kick out the guys that have been terrorizing Nigerians. But because there are certain factors which in most cases are political, some of them can be tribal, some can be religious factors that are actually mitigating or working against or preventing them from acting like the giants, like the super military or the super power of Africa. We take that also to many Nigerians who have been struggling back home and they travel abroad and they seem to be doing very well. Some of them may have gone to schools in Nigeria, come out with second class, third class, and then they go abroad and are coming out with distinctions and first class. Now, there are factors back home. Some of them could be corruption. For example, there are some lecturers who, no matter how well you write your exams, if you don't sort them, you will fail their courses, especially if they're the kinds that receive sorting. And as a lecturer, I'll tell you, they can never give an A because the A is meant for them and their family. Something like that. So this could be the factors that can mitigate or that can work against you becoming the giant that you are. You may be in Nigeria, you may be struggling, or maybe anywhere else, you may be struggling. And sometimes you look as if you are not doing enough. Sometimes you look as if all your efforts are going down the drain. But it could be that there are some factors there that are working against you. I don't want to go spiritual, some people talk about terrestrial demons and whatever it is, but there may be factors, some physical, some spiritual, that are working against you getting or becoming who you need to be. And at that point, the best thing that you can do is to leave that environment, is to leave that place, is to leave that country. When God called Abraham, God would have told Abraham to stay in his father's house and he will bless Abraham and make him great. But God told him, leave to a place that I will show you. So this also means that even God acknowledges, even in the Bible, it is acknowledged that the environment you find yourself can also work against your greatness. Abraham was not great in his father's house. He has to move out of where he was, his place of comfort, where he has families. So that it could be that network of family that may be pulling him down. Then you have little things, this one correct, this one correct, this one correct, so you don't have anything to invest. At the end of the day, you collect and you give, and you have everything. But God needed to take him out of that environment, out of that place where people are always ripping him, where whatever comes to his hand is like he's been put into a basket, And maybe, the Bible did not say this, maybe God has made attempts to kind of change Abraham's story, to kind of make Abraham a wealthy man in his father's house, but it did not work. And then God told him, leave. I will take you to somewhere else where your family members will not see you, where your people will not see you. And guess what? Even Abraham went and he took Lot, his brother. He did not become what God wanted him to be until he got to a point where they have to separate. You see? He got to a point where they have to separate. So there are a lot of factors. It is possible you can be a cockroach in your father's house, not because you are destined to be a cockroach in your father's house, but because there are factors. There are factors that it could be comfort. It could be you don't want to push yourself. It could be that You need to leave that place and go to a place where the only option that you have is to work harder. The only option that you have is to work on yourself. The only option that you have is to depend on yourself, to discover your inner strength, to reconnect and tap into your inner strength, to become the person that you are supposed to be. So this saying, doesn't make sense. Looking at it and looking at some of the things I have talked about, and even if you look at the environment, if you look around you, it is possible that you are just, that person may just be a cockroach because some things are deliberately keeping that person in a position where he will remain a cockroach, but he need to move. So this is me telling you that you may be trying so hard to achieve certain things in your life. You may be trying to attain certain heights in your life. You may be trying to change certain circumstances in your life. In some cases, the material, the resources to do those things, they come into your hand, but before you know, everything is gone completely. That makes me remember my local inspector. What do you call him again? My LI, yeah, in NYC, where he used to call the alawi that come to our house as gas. Because when the money comes into your hand, before you know it, it is gone. So it may just be that those resources come to your hand, but because of the environment that you are, that environment is draining those resources, and you need to take a step. You need to move out of that place. This is both physical and spiritual. So let me put this to you, that as we are rounding up the year and moving into 2026, the best thing you could do for yourself in 2026 is to move out of the environment that you are. The best thing you could do for yourself in 2026 is to cut off from some certain people in your life. The best thing you could do for yourself in 2026 may be to pick up some habits that may make people see you as being wicked, because you need to reserve and preserve the little you have and be able to use it to build what you need to build to become the giant that you are supposed to become. Maybe, for example, Abraham, maybe he may have been having sheep, and every time this uncle has a celebration, this auntie, and they keep slaughtering those sheep, but God needed to take him to where he will build wealth, where he will build generational wealth and generational blessings. And he told him, leave your father's house. I will take you to somewhere. This is a phase of separation. Now, separation could be separation from your environment. It could be separation from certain people. It could be separation even from family, from friends, from certain things that you may not even know are holding you back. So the best thing you can do for yourself come 2026, the most important thing, the thing that may turn out to be the most important thing for you to do for yourself in 2026. I'm saying it because we are going towards the end of the year. The most important thing may be for you to disconnect from certain people, disconnect from certain environments, disconnect from certain factors, disconnect from certain behaviors that have kept you as a cockroach when indeed you were meant to be a giant. Think about this, and as you reflect on your 2025 and try to set new goals for yourself, let this be at the back of your mind, that the most important thing you may have to do for yourself may be to have a disconnect from certain things, certain people, certain environment. So it is possible you can be a giant outside. It is possible that the fact that you are a cockroach in your father's house may not just necessarily mean you cannot be a giant outside. You just need to disconnect from certain factors, certain things, certain people, and certain environment that have deliberately or unintentionally or unintentionally kept you where you are now. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again next video. Until then, bye-bye.